Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to explain the poem A Thing of Beauty, Part 2. In Part 1, I had explained and given some references of historical backgrounds about the reference and explanation of the age or the century in which the poem has been written. So in this poem, as I explained earlier, that the poet is not happy with the people, and that's why he is calling them and just telling all the human beings of the world that nature is noble and human being is inhuman, dearth of human quality. He is telling in the first paragraph, first stanza. This shows that human beings are always deceiver, okay, always cheater. They are not as loyal as nature. They are not as noble as nature. So nature is supreme. So he is giving a catalog of classification of some heavenly bodies that are actually source of source of beauty, source of peace, source of comfort, and they are actually a beautiful objects. He is giving a reference of heavenly bodies like sun, moon, and stars. They are actually beautiful objects because they never differentiate. They never differentiate and they are not prejudiced. They are not judgmental. They are very much, you know, delicate. They are very much, soft. They are very much, peaceful. They are facilitating all the humanity, all the animals, all kind of things, okay, equally. So because of this nature, the narrator has decided that they are actually beautiful objects. A sun does not differentiate the black and white, the caste, the creed, the culture, the tradition, and the religion. And these human beings are actually stuck in these, worldly things. They differentiate themselves because of this, and perhaps the narrator is very much upset, unhappy, annoyed, and that's why calling noble nature, heavenly body, beautiful objects, and human being not a noble one. Okay, so after this, I am going to explain part 2. In part 2, he is now giving reference, after giving reference of, heavenly bodies, he is giving reference of trees. The second one line, I think still here I had completed. Trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. He is telling that it is the trees. You all are very, very much familiar with the importance of trees. Old trees and young trees. They are very much important for all, human being and for animals as well, for birds as well. Because even the tree, a mango tree or any fruit tree, any flower tree, any kind of tree does not differentiate anything. So they are, if a servant is going under a tree, same kind of comfort he is getting. If a king is going under a tree, same kind of comfort he is getting, same kind of peace he is getting, same kind of flower and fruit he is receiving. So indirectly, tree, it is the old one and the young one, they have same nature, they are very much noble one. So they are just facilitating as they are. Indirectly, the narrator also telling, reminding human being that beauties lies in the eyes of beholder. Sprouting a shady boon. Shady here refers to a very comfortable place for all the tired people, okay? All the tired animal, all the tired birds, they can comfort under the shade of a tree. So tree is very much important. On that time, science was not very advanced as today it is. So he is not familiar with that. It is the tree that is very much important for the purification of air, and purification of air is very much important because it has been impaired, okay, polluted by the excessive release of smokes from the industry and vehicles. So these are the objects who are actually very much important for human being, birds and animals, and anyone can go there and have peace and comfort. So they are beautiful objects, and their loveliness means this habit of sprouting a shady bone facilitation, okay, giving comfort, never pass into nothingness. It means never diminish, never over, never end. It remain permanent. Okay, if we are moving in a garden and if we lovingly touching the flower, it will give a smell. If we are just plucking the flower, still it is giving um, a good smell. If we are cutting a tree and if it is fruit tree, the tree is also giving the fruit. Means they, if we are cutting, preserving or just destroying, the nature is, the tree is not changing its nature. And what is its nature? Its nature is very noble towards all the living one. So they are the actual beautiful objects according to the narrator. So now we have a very fine parameters, a very fine barometers that can assess that who is a beautiful objects, who is a beautiful human being. So those who does not differentiate, okay, who does not change their nature based on the caste, class, culture and religion, they are actually beautiful objects. If they treat everyone equally, okay, facilitate them equally, so they may be beautiful objects. But writer does not say like this. He is very much upset with the human nature, okay, and he is calling inhuman death, okay, human death. So human beings are very much cheater and deceiver because they are destroying the peaceful atmosphere of nature, cutting the tree, okay, and cheating each other, pulling the leg of each other. So these are the you know hallmarks of human being, that is deceiving. So according to him, nature is noble and humans are evils. Now see the work of nature. For simple shape and such are daffodils with the green world they live in. He is telling that trees, the small one and the big one, they are making sprouting a shady bone for simple shape. Here simple sheep refers to the weak people, innocent people, okay, and it also symbolic of insecure animal, even that is getting comfort and peace in the lap of nature, even he is not kicked off. So this shows the vastness, okay, and large heartedness of the noble nature. Daffodils, actually here daffodils is actually decorating the nature. The work of jewelry just as decorates the beauty of a feminine, beauty of a lady. Similarly, here daffodils are actually the garlands, the beautiful objects, that is landscape, and that is a kind of jewelry that is decorating the nature, beautifying the nature, and they are the lovely sights. Such are daffodils with green world they live in. Here green world refers to also the pasture land, okay, and the green fields. They are also very much important for the pasture, for the animal, okay, for even the sheep. They are getting their food there, okay, without cost. But if we are moving, okay, in McDonald, we will have to pay heavy amount. Indirectly, the narrator is telling that the animals don't have bank balance, no storage of food, and they never die with hunger. But human beings do all these two things. They have big palace and villa and apartment. They have big storage of food items in their houses. They have large amount of heavy amount of bank balance. Still human beings are dying because of all these three things: lack of money, lack of residence, and they are also dying, okay, because of hunger. So he is telling that even all kind of, means all part of the young one, the strong one, even the sheep, the innocent one, are getting peace, comfort, okay, and pleasure in the lap of nature. So this is the large heartedness of the nature. He is telling, live in and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make, and see the beauty. The nature is decorating itself. The nature is just adding beauty in itself. For whom? For not itself, for the sheep, for the thirsty people, for the thirsty bird, for the thirsty animals, so that it can facilitate. It is making cooling covered, a very AC, a kind of AC room he is creating there, so that the tired animal in the scorching heat can get comfort, peace, and pleasure. So this is the beauty of nature. Against the hot season, means the when you visit in a hillside area and the fountain water is extremely cool. It gives a kind of as if we are taking water bottle from our fridge and just having it in the month of April and May, and the way it comforts us, soothes us, okay, gives us pleasure and peace. Similarly, the whole atmosphere is made just like a very cooling cupboard, just like an AC room, okay, because of the fountain water that has made all the area very comfortable, okay, very peaceful and cool. And everyone, anyone, animal, birds, and human being can go there and can have peace and comfort there. We can see generally in the April and May. So those who are living in the very hot areas where the temperature is very excessive, like Rajasthan and Delhi side area, so they are moving Simla and Jammu and Kashmir or Nepal side in order to get peace and comfort. So these areas are heavily, uh, means these area are very having lots of plants and rivers and water body and some natural objects, and because of that it has maintained its cooling covered, and that's why human beings loves to move there in order to get comfort and peace. The mid forest break, the mid forest break means here refers to the mid forest break is actually a kind of bush, a kind of plants that are actually uh, jhari, we can say in Hindi. So actually the nature is making a kind of house, okay, a kind of bush, a kind of ferns, a kind of plant it has that can accommodate and adjust the innocent animal in it, okay, and can save them, can comfort them, can facilitate them, okay, with peace and comfort in it. So this was the things he is creating, means the nature is preparing itself for facilitation, for providing peace and comfort for all the living one. That he means to say like this. The nature is also rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and these all fruits and flowers are available in nature. What is that? A sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. The flowers and the fruits are also available there. The human being can have. The flower is spreading its very uh, nice fragrance all around it. The human being can move there and just have a peaceful and very sweet dream. And when they are hungry, they can have the watermelon or whatever fruit it's have, like musk and others roses. And such too is the grandeur of the domes. And these all objects are very much important when human beings are in dooms. And such too is the grandeur, means the importance, and they are actually the important source of happiness for the human beings when they are in misery, when they are in problem, when they are in stress, when they are unhappy, okay, when their days are not good, when they have rainy days. So this explanation suggests that it is the nature who is able to lift the glooms of humanity, removes the sadness, irritation, and happy part of human being or every living one. So this is the explanation is trying to just uh, make it clear that we have, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. And who is the mighty dead? Actually, now he's telling that similarly, some mighty deeds are also there. Here, mighty deeds are refers to the heroes. The mighty deeds refers to the freedom fighters. The mighty deeds are refers to the great personalities of the world. They are also a source of inspiration, but they are not as important as the noble nature. The nature is supreme of all, but the mighty dead are also important source of happiness, motivation, peace, and comfort for humanity. How and who are the mighty dead? In our case in India, we have mighty dead Bhagat Singh, the youngster taking inspiration from Bhagat Singh, APJ Abdul Kalam, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Chandrasekhar Azad, like literary person Rabindranath Tagore, like greats. These great, you know, are mighty dead. We have the great king in history and myths, like Abhimanyu, great Abhimanyu, like Bhism Pitama, like Hussein and Hassan, like Prophet Muhammad, like Jesus Christ, like Vivekananda, you know, like Waheguru, means they are actually mighty dead, and they are actually just inspiring the people for for doing good things in their life. So they are also a source of inspiration according to the narrator. He is telling that these mighty dead means the powerful men who are dead. Here men refers to men and women both. Jhansi Ki Rani is also there, okay, if Chandrasekhar Azad is there. So he is telling that these mighty deeds are source of inspiration for the generation and the coming generation, okay. So they are also a source of inspiration, motivation, and they are also just uh, encouraging the human being. So they are also source of uh, pleasure. We can say that when we achieve something, we we are very much uh, happy with our role model. So like this he is trying to say. So we have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales. Here mighty deeds I have explained, which the powerful people, okay, the freedom fighter or the revolutionary one, okay, from the myths, from the religious scriptures, and from anyone, means human being, those who are taking references of great personality and making their role model, okay, from different sources. So that's why I gave some references from religious books, from historical references. Now he's telling that all lovely tales here refers to stories, the drama of Shakespeare, the writing of Rabindranath Tagore, the poem of Turu Dutt, the story of Premchand, the story of Tolstoy, the story of poems of T.S. Eliot. They are the well-known writer. The poems of John Milton. These are the tales. These are the stories. These are the poem writers, and they have motivated and encouraged human being. Okay, so he is telling that all lovely tales that we have heard or read, they are also source of beauty, because just as the mighty deeds are source of beauty, the lovely tales are also source of beauty and inspiration for the human being. He is telling that tales are also, stories are also, dramas are also, poetry are also source of inspiration, okay, and motivation for the human being that we have read, heard, okay, from our ancestors. So we are also getting inspiration from our myths, from our stories, okay, that are written by the great writers. An endless fountain of immortal drink, and they are endless. They are endless, means there is no end of this beauty. Here, fountain of immortal drink, as if a nectar is there that is pouring from the heaven, the happiness for the people. Now see, drama we have, okay, of Shakespeare, that it was removed from your syllabus of CBSE. So the drama of Shakespeare have been written more than 300-400 years back. It was written in 17th century, and still the dramas are read, and they are the source of inspiration for the humanity, like Julius Caesar, like As You Like It. They are constant source of drama, inspiration for the humanity. So he's telling that these all drama, these all tales, these all poems, these all stories, okay, these all life story of the great people are also source of beauty, eternal beauty, okay, and they are endless. They will never pass into nothingness. They will never diminish. They will just keep on giving all kind of comfort and peace and motivation for the humanity. So an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us. Here us refers to all human being from the heavens brink. Here heavens refers to the heavenly body, okay, the God's living place. So actually he's telling that the nature is supreme, and it will keep on facilitating, it will keep on giving all kind of comfort for the human being. So here heaven's brink is also refers to the showering of the rain. Okay. Here rain is a form of blessing that is coming uh, from the sky. It appears that the God is giving a sense of uh, uh, blessing, a kind of nectar. From a nectar, he is just pouring for the humanity on the earth, so that all can live peacefully, happily, and there is no end of this. It is continuous, eternal, and never end and over. So these are actually the beautiful objects. So these are the beautiful objects. He has given this one. So two words are there from your text, like reels, small streams break a thick mass of ferns. It is a kind of bush, okay, a small grass in the forest. Same kind of thick mass, a small grass are also just planted in the field of, in the cricket field and football field. It is very soft, similar to Korean quilts. So like that, he means to see like that break is a very comfortable place is making, okay, while sprouting a small bushes like that, he means to say like this. Literary devices, I have given you list of literary devices. Alliteration I have already explained. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sound, so noble nature, NN sound is repeated. Cooling covered, CC sound is repeated. Imagery I have also explained. Imagery means a kind of visualization of ideas. If I say her house is similar to um, just like Taj Mahal, so your Taj Mahal is imagery. It means her house is made with that white marbles. So if there are flowery bands, a kind of flowery bands, you have garland seen. Shady boon, this is the imagery. Very comfortable place. Clear rills refers to fountain, you might have seen. So these are the imagery. Now we have symbol refers to, actually, according to the narrator, he is a Christian, so he is giving reference of the Christianity. Actually, Jesus Christ was a shepherd, so that reference I have given here. Okay. Transferred epithet I have also when an adjective is leveled. When an adjective is transferred, so gloomy days here refers to the misery, the problem, the hardship of human being. So that is the gloomy days. Oxymoron means contrasting idea, like night and day and night, here might and dead. Main points of the poem I have already written. Okay, you can have a look of all the um, main points and can have the complete understanding of the poem at once. Now in homework assignment section, these are the very small, very short questions from the poem. I will give some more practice question. Okay, so first work is you will work assignment of the NCERT questions. Okay, that is given here. List the things of beauty mentioned in the poem: the sun, the moon, the stars. Okay, and what are others? The trees, a small and young one. So these things you will like, right? List the things that cause suffering and pain. What are the things? The deceiving, the cheating nature of human being cause pain and suffering. What does the line, therefore, are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to earth, suggest to you? Here, flowery band, I have already explained that it is a kind of garland. Okay, it is a kind of attachment that human being is making with the with the nature, with the beautiful objects, and because of that we are attached with this. We love these all things. So we'll write this. Why is grandeur associated with the mighty dead? Here grandeur refers to the importance, okay, the value. Mighty dead, actually I said that Bhagat Singh, okay, Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi, those who are the freedom fighters, Jhansi Ki Rani, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, so they are the freedom fighters because they sacrifice their life for the sake of peace and comfort for humanity. You know, so they are actually a source of inspiration. So they are, beautiful things. They are the beautiful people, and they are also installing a sense of peace and comfort for the coming generation. That we should not fight. We should live in unity. So they are the source of associated with mighty dead. So these things you will do. If there is any doubts, you please ask in the group or personally or to me. The rest things we will just have, we'll do the next chapter or next story in next class. Thank you very much. I can observe that many of you are not doing your homework assignment. Okay, I have prepared the list, but I'm not feeling well to just tell you that these people are not doing. And even they are asking to just send me the list of the students. I don't know, you are the board examinee, and why you are careless, and how can you be careless? That is beyond my imagination. You should be very much punctual and hardworking, at the same time very much disciplined towards your academic and all the activity. After completion of this, your future will be decided. So this is the first step of your career, first step of your life in academics field. Okay, and everything you can have. So please be serious, okay, punctual, and just recognize and realize your role and responsibility towards yourself, okay, and then do. I wish you all the best. God bless you all.